Right now, I'm picking LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
Nobody could ever be greater than Michael Jordan, right? Okay, and then you turn around, but in your era, LeBron James sitting there, he holding every single basketball record.
For years now, Isiah has been poking the bear, lining up Michael Jordan and LeBron James side by side, and flat out saying LeBron is the greatest to ever do it. This wasn't a one-time take. This was a long-running stance, repeated again and again, louder every time, until it finally reached a breaking point. Now, the word around the league is that Michael has had enough of the talk, enough of the comparisons, and enough of his legacy being brushed aside. He finally spoke up to set the record straight, and what he said instantly sent shockwaves through the basketball world. This wasn't casual chatter, this was a line in the sand. It all traces back to January 8th, 2026, when Isiah Thomas walked into the FanDuel TV studio and sat down with Michelle Beadle, DeMarcus Cousins, and Chandler Parsons. What started as a calm era comparison quickly turned into something way bigger, something that lit up timelines everywhere within hours. At first, the debate felt familiar. Old school versus new school, rings versus longevity. But then Isiah turned his focus directly toward current NBA players, questioning why they still lift Michael Jordan onto a pedestal while sharing the court with LeBron James right now. And he didn't ease into it, he went straight at the heart of the argument. Isiah pushed the idea that players were honoring the brand more than the player. His now viral shoes and warm-ups line wasn't random at all. It was a clear shot at Jordan's massive Nike empire. The message was loud. Jordan's image, not his on-court work, is what shapes opinions today, at least in Isiah's eyes. Michelle Beadle pushed back slightly, admitting she leans toward Jordan because of nostalgia, saying, "That's what made me love basketball." But Isiah didn't budge. This wasn't a new angle for him. It was just the latest chapter in a take he's been repeating for more than a decade. Back in 2013 on ESPN 1000 Radio, Isiah said LeBron was probably a better athlete than Jordan, pointing out that he's bigger, faster, and stronger. By 2018 on Get Up, he went even further, straight up declaring that LeBron James is a much better basketball player than Michael Jordan. No hesitation. Isiah always circles back to numbers. He points to LeBron's massive all-time scoring total, over 40,000 points, his deep playoff runs, his assist numbers, and his unmatched longevity. Jordan still owns the crown for career scoring average at 30.1 points per game, but Isiah waves that away fast. To him, cumulative dominance matters more than peaks, and that 2026 appearance wasn't an outlier, it was proof of consistency. Since at least 2013, Isiah has positioned himself as LeBron's loudest defender in the GOAT debate, shifting from athletic comparisons to stats and now to culture and branding.
Considered to be the golden era. This is what I don't understand about your era, right? You guys are playing with arguably the greatest player to ever play. And excuse me when I say this, but y'all treat him like he ain't. Y'all go back and say, "Oh, Aaron was the greatest. Oh, Michael Jordan was the greatest. Nobody could ever be greater than Michael Jordan," right? Okay, and then you turn around, but in your era, LeBron James sitting there, he holding every single basketball record. I mean, every single one of them. And you're looking at a Kevin Durant and you're looking at a Steph Curry, but then when y'all say who the greatest, y'all talk about the guy that gave you some shoes and, gave you warm-ups.
Things got even more personal after The Last Dance dropped in 2020. Isiah demanded a public apology, saying the tension wouldn't end without one. Jordan had taken a clear shot at him in the documentary, and Isiah later said he didn't realize how deep the resentment really ran until that moment. And context matters here. Isiah wasn't just a commentator, he was a rival. He led the Detroit Pistons to back-to-back championships in 1989 and 1990, knocking Jordan's Bulls out of the playoffs 3 straight years before that. The infamous Jordan rules were built to stop one man, and they worked. This isn't just about numbers or eras anymore. This is history, pride, and unfinished business colliding in public. And now that Michael finally spoke up, the entire debate just shifted again. That moment finally came in 1991, when the Bulls swept the Pistons clean out of the playoffs. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Chicago ran Detroit off the floor 4-0, and the power balance in the league flipped overnight. But instead of handshakes, respect, or closure, something happened that still echoes today. As the final seconds ticked away in Game 4, Isiah Thomas and several Pistons teammates turned their backs and walked straight off the court. No handshakes, no acknowledgement. Michael Jordan never forgot it, not for a second. Thomas insists that was simply how his team operated back then. No ceremony, no fake respect, just business. Fast forward to today, and when Thomas sits in a TV studio claiming LeBron James owns every meaningful basketball record, while today's players keep praising the guy who gave you shoes, the basketball world stops and listens. But one question hangs heavy in the air every time. Is this real analysis, or is this an old grudge talking? Because the tension between Thomas and Jordan didn't start with GOAT debates or TV sound bites. It started decades ago, rooted in pride, competition, and moments neither man has ever let go of. Go back to February 1985. Jordan makes his All-Star debut as a rookie starter. He plays 22 minutes, takes just 9 shots, and finishes with 7 points. Jordan believed that was no accident. He saw it as a deliberate freeze-out, allegedly led by veteran players, with Thomas often named as one of the key figures. Jordan later admitted it hit deep. He said it became a grudge game for him, explaining that he tried to be respectful at first, but kept hearing that Thomas was talking behind his back. At that point, Jordan decided he was done being nice. Thomas has always denied organizing any freeze-out, but the damage was already done. Trust was gone, and a rivalry was born. From 1988 to 1991, the Eastern Conference playoffs turned into a war zone. This was the furnace where the rivalry truly hardened. The Pistons built an entire system to stop one man, and they were proud of it. Head coach Chuck Daly called it the Jordan Rules. It wasn't subtle, it wasn't gentle, and it wasn't accidental. In a later interview, Daly explained it bluntly. Anytime Jordan got past you, you hit him. You made contact. You made it physical every single time. And the execution was brutal but effective. Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn, and Dennis Rodman rotated like enforcers, meeting Jordan at the rim again and again. The results spoke loud. Detroit eliminated Chicago in 1988 with a 4-1 series win. They did it again in 1989, 4-2. In 1990, the Bulls pushed it to 7 games, but Detroit still slammed the door. For context, Jordan averaged under 25 points in the final 3 games of the 1988 series. For a player who would finish his career averaging 30.1 points per game, that was rare containment. The Pistons found something that worked, and they squeezed it for everything it was worth. Thomas was the engine of those teams, the leader, the voice, the edge. The Pistons wore the bad boys label with pride, not shame. Back-to-back championships in 1989 and 1990 made them the final wall standing between Jordan and the top of the league. Thomas also leans on history to support his stance, and the facts are real. Jordan never beat the Lakers dynasty led by Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the finals. He never eliminated Larry Bird and the Celtics in a playoff series. By the time Jordan won his first title in 1991, those dynasties were aging or already broken apart. And that brings it full circle. May 1991 wasn't just a sweep, it was a symbolic takeover. The Bulls crushed the Pistons 4-0, but instead of passing the torch gracefully, Detroit walked away. No handshakes, no respect, no closure. That single walk-off turned a fierce rivalry into a permanent scar. And every time Isiah speaks about Jordan today, that history is right there beneath the surface. Loud, unresolved, and impossible to ignore. Thomas later admitted it straight up. Was it unsportsmanlike? Yes. But was that how they felt in the moment? Also, yes. No excuses, no rewrites. And that honesty only poured more gasoline on the fire because Michael Jordan never let it go. Not then, not later, not ever. When The Last Dance dropped, Jordan didn't soften a single word. He called the walk-off disrespectful and brushed aside Thomas's explanations like they were nothing. That documentary dragged their feud right back into the spotlight and reminded everyone that this wasn't ancient history, it was unfinished business. Then came the summer of 1992, and this is where things got even colder. The Olympic Dream Team, still seen as the most stacked basketball roster ever assembled, was announced. Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, all there. But Isiah Thomas, a 2-time champion and 12-time All-Star, was missing. And everyone noticed. The omission exploded into controversy instantly. Around the league, the belief spread fast that Jordan had something to do with it. Thomas has long believed Jordan pushed against his inclusion because of their personal history. Team selector Rod Thorne denied it completely, saying there was never any conversation with Jordan about Isiah, period. Jordan also denied involvement, but denial didn't erase the sting.
There's Kareem, and then there's a debate, in terms of Jordan and LeBron. And on any given night, who do you like? For me, I look at, the total body of work, what LeBron James is as a basketball player. And if I had to pick one over the other, right now I'm picking LeBron James over Michael Jordan, because Jordan would beat you scoring, but this guy beats you at everything. He rebounds, he assists, he gets everybody involved, and he's bigger, he's faster, he's strong.
Decades later, the wound was still open. In a 2024 appearance on the Draymond Green Show, Thomas admitted the exclusion still hurt. He said, "If that's the reason I didn't make the dream team, then I'm even more disappointed today. I paid a heavy price for that moment. That wasn't bitterness. That was pain that never really healed." Now here's where the numbers complicate everything. According to Land of Basketball, Thomas and Jordan faced each other 65 times in their careers. Thomas's teams won 36 of those matchups, including a commanding 16-6 edge in the playoffs. That's not opinion, that's record books talking. This context matters when people question Thomas's GOAT takes. He's not just some talking head chasing clicks. He's a Hall of Famer who battled Jordan face to face, year after year, season after season, and won more often than he lost. His Pistons delayed Jordan's rise for 3 straight years, and that history still echoes. Critics say this is where bias creeps in. They hear old grudges hiding behind new arguments. Social media reactions to Thomas's 2026 comments accused him of next-level hate and claimed he's still bitter about old slights. The timing, the tone, the history, all of it fuels suspicion. Supporters push back hard. They argue Thomas's experience gives him credibility, not bias. He guarded Jordan, game planned for him, and fought him in playoff wars when championships were on the line. That perspective isn't theoretical. It was earned through thousands of minutes on the court. And when Thomas talks LeBron, he talks numbers. He doesn't lean on vibes or nostalgia. He goes straight to production. LeBron James entered the 2025-26 season as the NBA's all-time leading scorer with over 42,000 regular season points. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in February 2023 and just kept stacking points at age 41. Jordan, by comparison, sits 5th all-time with 32,292 points. That gap of more than 10,000 points tells a clear story about longevity. LeBron has played 1,580 regular season games across 23 seasons. Jordan played 1,072 games across 15 seasons. That difference isn't about skill, it's about time. Thomas leans into that reality. He argues that total production matters when greatness is being judged. In a sport where individual output directly affects winning, the player who delivers more over a longer period has contributed more overall. The math backs him up, even if the conclusions still split the room. So when Thomas speaks in 2026, it's never just stats and it's never just emotion. It's history, rivalry, numbers, and pride colliding all at once. You don't have to agree with him, but you can't pretend this debate exists without decades of tension shaping every word. The assist numbers are where the gap really jumps off the page. LeBron James sits 7th all-time with 11,706 regular season assists, while Michael Jordan is way down at 41st with 5,633. That means LeBron has more than double Jordan's assist total, and that difference is not small, it's massive. That gap reflects how each man played the game. LeBron has operated as a primary playmaker for most of his career, controlling tempo, creating shots, and setting the table for teammates. Jordan, on the other hand, was a pure scorer first, often handing ball-handling duties to guards like John Paxson and letting his teammates initiate the offense. Rebounding tells the same story, and the numbers aren't even close. LeBron has pulled down 11,028 regular season rebounds, ranking 32nd all-time. Jordan finished with 6,672, landing him far outside the top tier. Size plays a role here. LeBron stands 6'9", while Jordan was 6'6", but so does versatility. LeBron willingly played multiple positions and crashed the glass like a forward. Thomas doesn't deny Jordan's scoring brilliance, and he never pretends otherwise. Jordan still owns the highest career scoring average in NBA history at 30.1 points per game. He also won 10 scoring titles compared to LeBron's one. That part of the legacy is locked in. But Thomas's argument is bigger than scoring titles. He believes dominance across multiple categories matters more than ruling a single lane. To him, basketball greatness isn't just about getting buckets, it's about total control of the game. The playoff numbers only strengthen his case. LeBron leads all players ever with 8,289 playoff points. Jordan sits second with just under 6,000. LeBron has appeared in 292 playoff games, the most in NBA history, while Jordan played 179. That's an entire extra postseason career worth of production. It doesn't stop there. LeBron's 2,095 playoff assists rank second all-time. His 2,628 playoff rebounds absolutely dwarf Jordan's 1,152. In every cumulative playoff category except steals, LeBron has passed Jordan. Thomas sees that as proof, not opinion.
Now, truth be told, I beat Magic and Kareem, and I beat Larry Bird and his Celtics. Michael Jordan never beat those teams. In the 90s, in the 90s, Michael Jordan beat, he beat Barkley, he beat Karl Malone, he beat Stockton, he beat Gary Payton, he beat Sean Kemp.
Have enabled this discrepancy.
Jordan would beat you scoring, but this guy beats you at everything. He rebounds, he assists, he gets everybody involved, and he's bigger, he's faster, he's strong.
To make his point hit harder, Thomas draws comparisons to other sports. On Run It Back, he argued that in track, tennis, football, and baseball, the greatest athletes usually hold the records. Usain Bolt owns the 100 and 200-meter world records, and nobody debates his status. Serena Williams won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, and her greatness is widely accepted. Tom Brady leads the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns with 7 Super Bowls, and very few question his place at the top. So Thomas asks the uncomfortable question: why does basketball work differently? If LeBron holds the records, why does the debate never end? His answer points straight back to nostalgia and commercial influence, the same shoes and warm-ups jab he made in January 2026. The counterargument, however, is just as grounded in numbers. Jordan's per-game dominance still stands unmatched. His 30.1 career scoring average leads the league all time. His 33.4 playoff scoring average is also the highest among players with serious postseason runs. Night to night, Jordan hit harder. Then there's the championship argument. Jordan went 6 for 6 in the finals, never losing on the biggest stage. LeBron has reached the finals 10 times, but holds a 4-6 record. Critics say those losses matter and shouldn't be brushed aside as team issues. Advanced stats add fuel to that side, too. Jordan edges LeBron in player efficiency rating at 27.9 versus 26.8. Win shares per 48 minutes also favor Jordan at .250 compared to LeBron's .220. These metrics aim to balance eras and minutes, and they consistently keep Jordan near the very top. Thomas knows all of this, and he's aware of the pushback. He said before, "When I speak facts, people think it's hate," acknowledging that his arguments face skepticism no matter how clean the numbers are. Still, he believes time will settle it. His prediction is bold. 15 years from now, he says, this won't even be a debate anymore. In his view, the record books will speak louder than nostalgia ever could. And that's what this really comes down to. If you value longevity, total production, and cumulative impact, LeBron's case is powerful. If you value peak dominance, perfect finals efficiency, and nightly scoring superiority, Jordan keeps the edge. Jordan himself stays mostly quiet on it all, letting the legacy speak while the debate keeps raging louder than ever. In a 2020 interview with Cigar Aficionado, Michael Jordan shut the whole thing down in his own calm way. He said you're never really going to decide who the greatest of all time is because it always depends on who's watching and when. He added that it's unfair to him and unfair to LeBron James, making it clear that cross-era debates are a setup from the start. That stance has been consistent for years. Jordan believes comparing players across eras is flawed because the game itself keeps changing. The rules are different. Physical defense has softened. The three-point shot has reshaped offenses, and load management has stretched careers. Comparing across all that requires assumptions nobody can actually prove. What gets overlooked is that Jordan has praised LeBron more than people admit. In 2023, when LeBron passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, Jordan publicly congratulated him. He called it an amazing accomplishment and gave LeBron his flowers without hesitation. Then in 2025, during a casual golf conversation later shared by former player Jason Williams, Jordan reportedly said LeBron James could play in any era. That line mattered. It directly pushed back against critics who claim LeBron benefits from a softer modern game with less physical defense. Jordan wasn't downplaying LeBron at all. He was defending his skill set. He was saying straight up that LeBron's game would translate no matter the decade, no matter the rules. That's not something Jordan says lightly. What Jordan has never done, though, is hand over the GOAT crown. In a 2019 appearance on Today, he was asked to choose between LeBron and Stephen Curry in a hypothetical one-on-one matchup. Jordan smiled and picked Curry, joking that he's a little bigger and could back him down. It was playful, not a diss, and it neatly avoided ranking LeBron at all. Since The Last Dance aired in 2020, Jordan and Isiah Thomas have not spoken publicly to each other. Jordan's comments in the documentary were his strongest words on Thomas in years. He called the 1991 walk-off disrespectful and dismissed Thomas's explanations completely. Thomas fired back hard. He demanded a public apology, saying until that happens, the beef isn't going anywhere. Later on the Draymond Green Show, Thomas said their relationship is beyond repair after the documentary. Jordan has never responded and has never apologized. Instead, Jordan has gone quiet, and that silence is strategic. Engaging with Thomas's GOAT arguments would only elevate them. Responding would create headlines and keep a conversation alive that Jordan clearly has no interest in feeding. Jordan prefers letting the resume talk. 6 championships, 6 finals wins, no explanations required. Silence protects the legacy better than debate ever could. Still, people close to Jordan aren't staying quiet. Former teammate Ron Harper reacted to Thomas's 2026 comments on social media, telling him to get over it and accusing him of holding on to old grudges. That response made it clear Jordan's inner circle is tired of the narrative. These days, Jordan's rare public appearances focus on business moves and philanthropy, not basketball debates. While the internet keeps arguing eras and stats, Jordan stays detached, confident that history already wrote his chapter, and he doesn't need to argue it line by line. Instead of feeding legacy wars, Jordan has chosen a completely different lane. His last notable public appearance came at a 2025 charity event, where he spoke about philanthropy and community work, not basketball rankings or GOAT debates. That restraint sets Michael Jordan apart from many other retired legends. Plenty of icons stay loud in the conversation. Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal regularly weigh in on current players and historical rankings. Jordan does the opposite, and that silence is not accidental.
Well, first in this conversation, Isiah, he prefaced it by saying Kareem's the best all time. Then he went into,
I'm not going.
well, he got it to tier 2. And I thought Isiah was sounding salty, even though he's right.
Throughout his career.
The only way I give Michael Jordan the edge is because I've never seen MJ quit. I've never seen him not have that killer instinct. You know, 6 championships speaks for itself, but every game he wanted the ball at the end of the game. He never ran away from the ball. He's never shied away from that moment. We've all seen LeBron do that before. And that's as far as talent, you can't really say anything bad about either one of them, but that's why I separate the two. They're both great. They're going down as the 2 best of all time, but I gotta take Jordan over him.
By staying quiet, Jordan lets the resume speak for itself. 6 championships, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, those numbers are locked forever. Meanwhile, LeBron James is still playing, still adding chapters, and still shifting how history might judge him. Any direct comparison Jordan makes today could age badly depending on how LeBron's career finishes. That calculated restraint leaves room for others to shape the debate, and many have stepped in. Isiah Thomas is not alone in pushing LeBron over Jordan. A growing group of analysts, former players, and media figures now argue that LeBron has already passed Jordan as the greatest ever. One of the loudest voices is Nick Wright, the Fox Sports host of First Things First and What's Right. Wright has flat out declared the GOAT debate finished, with LeBron on top. He argues LeBron's career is unimpeachably stronger than Jordan's, and even claims LeBron's peak seasons surpassed Jordan's best. Wright often points to LeBron holding both the youngest and oldest records across multiple categories as proof of unmatched longevity. He highlights LeBron's 2013 season when he won MVP, led Miami to a title, and shot nearly 60% from the field, calling it a peak no single Jordan season can top. Wright knows his stance drives people crazy. He's compared arguing with Jordan loyalists to political debates where no amount of evidence changes minds. His belief is simple: time will do the work. As generations shift, those who watched LeBron's prime will eventually dominate the conversation. Former NBA center Kendrick Perkins, now an ESPN analyst, has also been unwavering. Perkins repeatedly calls LeBron the GOAT, pointing to finals appearances, statistical dominance, and elite play deep into his late 30s and early 40s. That stance reportedly came at a cost. According to Sports Illustrated, Jordan Brand cut off Perkins' sneaker supply after he publicly crowned LeBron. Perkins didn't back down. He doubled down, saying, "This is why LeBron James is the GOAT, because your GOAT wasn't doing this at 40. That line lit up debates everywhere. Then there's Shannon Sharpe, the NFL Hall of Famer and co-host of Undisputed. Sharpe regularly goes head-to-head with Skip Bayless, one of Jordan's most vocal defenders. Sharpe comes armed with numbers every time, hammering LeBron's all-time leads in points and assists. So while Jordan stays silent and focused on business and charity, the debate keeps getting louder without him. Analysts clash, former players pick sides, and the record books keep growing. Jordan doesn't argue, he waits. And LeBron keeps playing, knowing every new milestone only adds fuel to a debate that refuses to slow down. Even Shannon Sharpe has slipped at times, and that says a lot. During a 2025 First Take appearance, he referred to someone as the Michael Jordan, before quickly correcting himself to say, LeBron! That split-second pause told the whole story. No matter how hard people argue against Jordan, he's still the default benchmark burned into everyone's brain. Former NBA coach Stan Van Gundy added more fuel back in 2018 on Get Up. He gave LeBron a slight edge over Jordan, and his words carried weight. This is a coach who prepared game plans at the highest level, studied both eras deeply, and evaluated talent without fan goggles on. His take wasn't emotional, it was professional. Then there's Colin Cowherd, who plays the middle ground. Cowherd argues LeBron is better in the modern basketball context, while admitting Jordan hits fans harder on an emotional level. That stance explains a lot. Statistically, LeBron checks more boxes, but culturally, Jordan still owns the room. Some of the most revealing voices come from players who actually shared the floor with both legends. According to TalkSport, Jerry Stackhouse, Shaquille O'Neal, Larry Hughes, and James Jones all played alongside both Jordan and LeBron. Their opinions aren't uniform, but many lean toward LeBron's versatility, durability, and all-around impact. Former All-Star guard Gilbert Arenas has been especially vocal. On Gil's Arena, he breaks down why LeBron's playmaking and long-term dominance should outweigh Jordan's scoring edge in GOAT debates. Arenas faced both in real competition, not hypotheticals, and his perspective comes straight from the court. Even active players are weighing in. Draymond Green, a four-time champion and one of the loudest voices in basketball media, has called LeBron's resume flawless on and off the court. That stance carries extra weight considering LeBron beat Draymond's team in multiple finals. There's no loyalty angle there, just respect. Anonymous polls among current NBA players show the ground slowly shifting. A 2023 survey found 45.9% still picked Jordan, which is a plurality, but not the overwhelming dominance he once held. Younger players who grew up watching LeBron are starting to reshape the conversation exactly like Isiah predicted. Still, the opposition is loud and organized. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, and others continue to defend Jordan fiercely. They point to his 6-0 finals record, his Defensive Player of the Year award in 1988, and that cold-blooded edge that showed up when games tightened. That's why this debate refuses to fade. It isn't just about players, it's about values. Do you reward longevity or peak dominance? Rings or records? Physical control or competitive will? Every answer changes the outcome. Isiah Thomas has made his stance clear. He believes the numbers favor LeBron. He believes today's players underrate their own era. And he believes Jordan's commercial empire has warped how people remember his on-court impact. Whether that view is pure analysis or shaped by decades of history with Jordan is up to each observer. The facts are out there, the numbers are public, and the interpretations will keep colliding. And as long as LeBron keeps adding chapters, this argument isn't going anywhere.